Hi there! So we have the brand new Odyssey maze which has begun today, and in it we have the Forever Dragon returning. But the main draw of this current maze isn't going to be this dragon or any of the dragons in general. It's actually going to be the event items, because there are insignias, shields, and more importantly, these elation crystals available on the keys path. And so if you want to know what the total costs are for everything, you can go on Ditlep. I've also posted an Odyssey maze event guide here where you'll see that all the total costs are there. The amount of currency that we can get is posted there, and the number of event items per path is also there. So we will go through that now, but again, if you do want to find that, that is in my Discord server in the DC Event Guides channel, just in case you want to take a look at that anytime that you want. But in this maze event, I will just say it outright, the best thing or the best path for you to go down is going to be the keys path. So for that, you'd start off on red path, then you go through on yellow path, picking up these various event items. And on the keys path, you can get these crystals, you can get tons of spearheads, you can even get 15 insignias total. So this keys path honestly is like by far the best choice in this event. Now, if you just are ignoring every single collection, then that is up to you, but I highly suggest going down the keys path this time to get as many event items and various different things as possible. It's just going to give you the most value out of everything. And even if you don't finish the forever path, it's not actually a huge issue, but it is what it is. But we can't afford to go to the next crystal here. But when you collect these crystals and these event items, these are all counting towards these collections here. So like the Elation collection, you'll see that I'm currently at 20 out of 25. So we're getting very close to unlocking this dragon. And then once we get him, we can do his collection. And then we also have, I said collection, I meant his quest. We've also got Call of the Siren, where you'll see that we just need one more shield and then we'll get this Phoenix perk pack done. So I can watch the ads for that. But the general rules with all of this is just make sure you're logging in every single reset, collecting all of your currency, that sort of thing. And grand total, if you want to know the totals of every dragon, you can see them on Ditlep as well. Forever's total cost, if you go through all the keys paths, is going to be 10,830 coins. Tentacle Amalgam is 8,165, and Jormungandr is 6,720. But how much currency can we actually collect grand total? Well, starting currency from the event, I believe, is 400. The amount of currency we can get from resets is 7,200, and the amount of currency we can get from quests is 500, which means that the total amount of currency that we can get without watching any ads is 8,100. So considering that it's 8,100, that is much, well, nowhere near enough to get forever and all of the stuff from the forever path. So keep that in mind. That is unless you get lucky with ads, and you know, if you watch an ad and then on one of the roulette spins, you end up getting the 1,000 drop, for instance. Then if you get a couple of those, you might be able to fully finish off the path, but otherwise you're probably going to end up, I guess, finishing off the maze event on the actual forever path towards the end, but not actually finishing it. That's where most people would end up finishing. Now, in terms of the actual item drops, the reason I recommend this is because there are, again, 7 spearheads, 15 crystals, 15 insignias, and an aspis shield by going down the forever path. So that's why I recommend it. Now, you could maximize the amount of spearheads you get by only going so far in, and then if you really cared about only spears, after you get this spearhead on the forever path, for instance, you could then go to the Tentacle Amalgam path and then pick up the first bronze spearhead from there, and then go on the Jormungandr one and then pick up this spearhead, and it'll end up being a bit cheaper to get a couple of extra spears. But you got to remember that if you continue on here, you can get more crystals and you can get some of the insignias as well. So realistically, I would just recommend going through the keys paths and going as far as you can, usually. But, you know, you're probably not going to finish everything off, and that's fine. But if you go down the Tentacle Amalgam or Jormungandr paths, you're not going to be getting many items. Again, they only have 2 bronze spearheads total, apart from this boy that has 3 of them. He's got 3 of them, and the other guy, Jormungandr, has just 2. Bronze spearhead there and a bronze spearhead there. So aside from 2 or 3 bronze spearheads, these paths really aren't very good value. I don't recommend them. If you really want the dragon, I'd say just get it some other time instead of during this maze. But it's your choice at the end of the day. You can pick whatever you want. I just highly recommend the keys paths this time. I mean, just think about it. If you are like at this stage in the collection like I am, we are already with 4 days left to go. We're about to pick up Phoenix Perks and Joker Orbs, which we can use to empower our dragons. Maybe if we get lucky with arena drops, and maybe if we even gem a bit, maybe we could finish off the Heroic Orbs chest and get at least 120 Orbs of High Siren. So that sounds a lot better to me than just getting a singular dragon. And plus, if we manage to get this Heroic Orbs chest, we would get Orbs for Odysseus, and since we skipped him in the Fog event, that would just give us the dragon that we missed out on. But this one's going to be very difficult, of course. We need to get so many shields and everything, and since we missed 1 shield from Fog, maybe we would have to gem for the shields at least. But keep all of that in mind when you are going through. So that is the maze event itself. Like I said, you can check out in my Discord server, or you can use Ditlep just to give you the grand totals and see which items are coming up next, just in case you don't have eyes and you can't use this map properly. Because, you know, there's a lot of stuff going on screen, lots of different colors, lots of different things like that. But, you know, the keys paths are pretty simple. You're just going from one item to the other, very, very basic. Just make sure you don't spend on tiles that you don't need to. So that is Odyssey Maze. Of course, we've currently got Endurance Karma's Hollow on. I've been getting destroyed by that, so let's not comment on that. Aside from that, we do have the Heroic Race still ongoing, of course, for another 4.5 days. And we are very close to finishing off lap 14 and guaranteeing the Heroic. But the Heroic being guaranteed isn't our goal, of course. It is Haunted. So we will continue on and at very least get to lap 16. We can probably get a bit further than that. We could probably even push to 19 for the Titan Egg chest if we really cared. But do I care enough? Probably not. Maybe we'll get to 18 and get some Orbs of High Siren, but depends on how much I could be bothered, to be honest. But at the very least, Haunted is our goal. And we will be winning this one because everyone else is, you know, not logging in anyway. But, you know, we've got to save our Skipperinos for the battles. I've been getting pretty unlucky with them towards the second half of this event, but that's just the way that it is. You sometimes start off getting really lucky spins, and then when you really need them on the really long ones like these battles, you get ×1 every time. So we will continue on with the Heroic Racing. But I know that I did mention it briefly, but, you know, we do have tons of quests still on, and, you know, we had Empower Happy Hour yesterday, and if you're wondering what I've been doing in terms of my empowerment, you'll see that we actually did a decent chunk of stuff with Colossus Eternal, and we are about to do quite a lot with Bisexual Eternal as well, because I did spend a few gems to be able to make this happen, but we will be at least empowering Bisexual Eternal to 2 stars, which the reason why I wanted to do it on this dragon and not Colossus Eternal, even though we already had progress on him, is because I just prefer the elements on this dragon, having Dream, Soul, and Time, and even the Ice as well is pretty good, even if he's only an Eternal. That, you know, Eternals aren't the best dragons in the game, but these elements are just really tasty, so that's the reason why I wanted to at least bring him up. He's gonna be like a bespoke Morpheus of some sort. So yeah, I'm gonna really enjoy having this guy leveled up and maybe use him in a few places, but you know, I'm probably not going to take him to 70 anytime soon. It's just, it would be nice to have him there. And of course, once we get him leveled up and empowered, we can then get some more of these insignias and more orbs for him as well. And we are very close to opening up our next 80 chest. So, you know, stacking up all these insignias, especially getting the ones from the events as well, we could end up with one of these insane nutty drops. So it's definitely worth us going for that. The other thing I did want to mention very quickly was the fact that it seems they are going crazy with the breeding event island right now. And not that I'm against it, because, you know, the chances of you breeding any of these successfully is very low. But while the chance is there, I'd rather them give people the opportunity rather than no opportunity. And, you know, it's like forever. You're not going to be getting him from the maze if you're free to play, almost certainly. So you have the chance to breed him, although this combo is pretty disgusting. Pure, blah, wind, blah, disgusting. But we do have, like, Design Chief, which is a very random pick, but you could go for him. Fast Feline's another random one. But then, of course, we still got Haunted and Curtis for a day. We did have Happy available, and Platypus, who were some other limited dragons. So you know what? If they keep releasing these dragons that they made basically impossible for some people, and they release them in any fashion, it's better than them not being available at all. And I have been trying to go for some breeds. 1 for the Alliance chest, and 2 just to try and get some rare dragons in general, but, you know, I'm gonna have to stop as soon as these battles are done, because, you know, we're gonna have actual heroic race stuff to get doing again. So, yeah, we need to be careful about all of this breeding malarkey. So, you know, tomorrow we will have to clear out our hatchery and our breeding dam. But we got tons of new eggs and stuff to get hatching, so more dragons to add to our collection. So we've been chilling pretty much. But yeah, we got a shield coming up as well, and then we can finish off the beginning of that that Phoenix perk collection, which is wonderful. Well, I say the beginning, it is the whole thing. But anywho, that is the currently ongoing stuff here. Again, I would say that when you are opening up these things and going for the spearheads and everything, you know, you're not going to get too much more out of this maze event, so don't expect to be walking away with like some super good dragons or anything. You're mainly just doing this event for the special event items this time around. So anyway, thank you for joining me and good luck.